What is up, YouTube? A9 here, and welcome back to another episode of Over-Engineering Survival. So, as you can tell, there's weather now, and, I mean, it's only a light fog, but that's because Splitsie has updated the, scenario. As you can tell by my HUD, I am currently not using all of the, new things added to the scenario. Like, for instance, I'm not using the new food mod. I am not using grabby hands. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, I haven't used these mods. I haven't done testing with these mods. I don't know how they'll interact with my current save because I've added mods that aren't present in Splitsie's game. So I need to do some testing for that. Two, even though I've been using grabby hands for a while on my live stream series that I'm doing with my brother, I don't know if grabby hands will be a good fit for this series because there's a reason why I built so many cranes. Like, for instance, this guy. Never would have built this if I had, well, okay, I might have still built it if I had grabby hands, but the reason to use this was to be able to put cargo containers on the back of my trailer, which isn't currently parked here. And also the reason to build the crane on the back of this thing, again, is because I didn't have grabby hands. I couldn't just pick up things and plop them on this trailer. I mean, this is still useful because I do use it for these batteries, but that was like a helpful side effect. I could just as easily put a landing gear on this and put the batteries down. Which actually is probably a far smarter idea, and what I will probably end up doing in the future. So yeah, like, I'm not 100% sure if I want to use grabby hands yet. The new food mod, I do like the idea of. I like the idea of the radiation bit. That part seems very interesting to me, especially because I have thermal dynamics mod installed. And the point of that mod was to make space far more dangerous. And I think this also does the exact same thing, just in a different way. And I like the idea of adding that. I just need to do some testing with the mod. And also, I think we need to complete our greenhouse before I change it over anyways. I don't want to just completely remove the food infrastructure we currently have because I did a lot of work on that to get it set up to make like the luxury meals and stuff. And I want to know what the equivalent is of a luxury meal in that food mod, and possibly give myself a 1-to-1 just creative mode swap it over. But I don't know if that's possible, so again, I gotta do some testing on that. And I gotta actually like look at the mod. But we'll be doing that a different time, because today we're still working on this crazy behemoth of a contraption. Last time we got the majority of the top here laid out. Right now we're working on hooking up the 150 chain small grid hinges that I need to attach. Oof. Yeah, so I have an idea of how this will work. Do I have things to build? Yes. So in order to make sure that I don't have the problems I did while building this in creative mode, I think I've come up with the solution. And that solution is to use ramps. I can get a ramp here. Okay, I'm gonna add another ramp here, just for ease of getting up and down. And then Yeah, that should do it. Maybe I should put a block. I'm gonna do that at the back just so it can't slip under and roll off, but that should be fine. So the hinge itself is going to be attached to here. Let me make sure that this is on. Rotor lock is on. Okay. Nope. It's already freaking out. Great. Hinge lock. Why are you flipping out like this? Here, braking torque. There you go. Okay, upper limit. Okay, I probably need to lower the braking torque now, don't I? And then bring you to 0. Come on. Nope, that didn't work. What the fuck is going on? Okay, I might actually have to build these. Okay, I'm gonna do that actually. And then 0, 0 them, and then add hinge head. Haha! Okay, it seems to have only been this one that was freaking out. Oh, crap. No. I fucked it up. I needed to do hinge lock first. And then I can change the limits back. Okay. Hinge lock, and I'm just gonna keep doing this. I'll have to make it climb up here. That'll take a minute, but then that should be fine. I'm gonna go grab some oxygen. So I wonder if adding, so I can't share inertia tensor with every single hinge on this grid because otherwise shit's gonna explode because they're all gonna take on this. Each hinge is gonna weigh the exact same as all the hinges combined if I do that. But if I do it for every other hinge, that means each hinge is only weighs as much as 2 hinges. Which, yes, will double the weight. But, did I share inertia tensor this one? No, so this one gets share inertia tensored. Should make the whole thing overall more stable. I think that's right. Yes. Hinge lock, inertia tensor. And thankfully soon I'll be done with the bouncing. Because I'll be able to lay it flat. I just gotta do Probably another out to about here is where I gotta go, and then I can lay it flat, and it should be fine. So yeah, I've gotta do this for a while. No, that's not annoying. Come on. So, yeah. Every once in a while, a gust of wind does catch it, and makes it a bit of a nightmare. So, yep, I'm just going to keep working at this, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I've gotten a big long chain. I'm struggling to count them all, but I just thought of a great way of counting them. I believe heavily rusty armor. Yes, the build state does change if I go heavy rusty armor, so I can use that to count without having to actually build any of them. Let's change that to rusty. I'm gonna go every 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there goes my phone. Perfect. That means I got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 done, I think. No, wait, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I have 30 of them done. 30 of 75. So I'm gonna keep going at it. Okay, so I've made it all the way here, and I'm just gonna do a bit of flattening out. This one is not on. Is this one's hinge lock on? No. Okay. And the best way I found to flatten them is just gonna jump on them. This one might be too far back to actually pass to move, so it might not work. Yeah, it's not gonna work. I should have done it earlier. So we're all the way at the trolley now. And I think the best way of attaching it to the trolley is just gonna be this. And just hope they line up. Oh, and it gets nighttime. They're not gonna line up, dang it. Okay, I think I need to cut this back a little bit. Oops. That was not the best time for it to turn dark. Okay. So I think now I need to hinge lock, and of course you're spinning the wrong way. Hinge lock. That's not going to be far enough. Go full 90. There we go. Okay, and they're not gonna quite reach, which is slightly annoying. I think I can fix that though. If I grind that down. I need to hinge lock this. I need to do that. Maybe they're close enough where they can attach. No, I didn't think so. Okay. So do I have enough? Ow! There's a hole there. Why is there a hole there? Let's fix that. Okay, what I was gonna say is there enough where I can switch, unlock this, and can I push it? Is it locked on the other side? No. Come on. Think light thoughts. Okay. I think I need to then finish this. Alright, and then if I clear this, and clear this, and then this, now it should move, question mark? Well, it's definitely sitting in the tracks now. Is that enough? Where if I do something like, say, this, there we go, we're attached. Perfect. Okay. Cart is attached. Okay. Control panel. Hinges that are incomplete. 69 hinges. We didn't even need all of them. All 75. That's awesome. Alright. So we're gonna set the torque to actually 0, because they're never going to be powered. They're going to set their lower limits. We're going to set their upper limits. I'm going to leave. Okay, hinge lock was toggled, so they should. None of these should have hinge lock on anymore. So this thing should be free. Ow. Yep. Yep, it's all, thingamabobbed. And it's, oh no, it's already clanging. I'm going to try and unclang this. If I can. But this was the worry. Ah. Nope. I think those are clanged. Yep. Okay, we're gonna do a quick reload. Yeah, so that was always the worry of this, is that happening. So they're attached now, okay. How do I get around this? Do I have braking torque, maybe? Okay, that's going to be 0. Go 500, maybe. I don't know. Also, something that I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do share inertia tensor on every 5. I think that'll work better. Maybe. Because then I'm not doubling the weight, I'm only timesing it by 1/5. Or adding 1/5 of the weight. Yeah, of course. That inventory is really full. All right. Hinges. Unclick share inertia tensor. Hopefully that didn't just send anything flying. Rotor lock it. I'm gonna set the limits to be -85 and 95. Or sorry, 85. Torque to 0, braking torque to 1K. Just hopefully it'll maybe stop the bouncing around. And is everything still attached? I didn't hear any freak out, so. Okay. It is still slightly freaking out. Share inertia tensor. Share inertia tensor. Share inertia tensor. Alright. Now for the harder bit. Hinge lock off. Hinge lock off. Hinge lock off. Alright, so, yeah, I think this is the plan. You know what I should also do? Rotor lock this. Why is it still spinning? I said rotor lock! I think I should also probably build these. also maybe build the hinges too. So, yeah. I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be slow going. Ah, crap. It's across the bridge. Alright, we have a slight problem. The rover is currently moving a little bit faster than I can actually do the things with it. So we're gonna have to do something to stop it. Okay. Can I get away with a half block? Okay, what about a plate? Plate. Where's the ones in the middle? No, I'm just past it. Okay. Well, then I might as well go the full half block. Just plop it there. Alright. Crisis slightly averted, I think. Oh, it looks like, okay, it stopped on its own anyways. That's good. Because what was happening is, if I go to spectator, I was worried that there's too much pressure on this, and it was just going to keep going, and then just flop itself over. Because I can't undo all of the hinge locks at once, otherwise we get that clang happening. So, yeah, I have to go very slowly. I'm talking at like 0.2 RPM for this thing to wind it all together. Which is fine. Yeah. So what I'm actually thinking is I think we need a tensioning mechanism, in quotation marks. Something that can keep the weight in an equal spot on this thing, like above and below. So it feeds in at like basically where it is currently. So I think we're gonna have to make that right now. As for ideas for this, I really don't have much other than second rotor and do this small grid. I think is the only way we're gonna be able to do this. Hold on. You know, I also have to figure out how big I made these discs, because these are kind of like to prevent it from falling out side to side. Doesn't technically need them, but it's good to have them there, because with there's enough play in these hinge chains that theoretically it could loop around itself by sliding off. So let me go find my original reference images. So we're already at 2, that's 3, 4, 5. They'll go out to about here. Which means gonna have to go at least a block over. Which is fine. Can I crawl under this? Yes. Because if I remember correctly, I think the train stops here. At least that's where the wheels stop. So yeah, if I put the rotor here, actually I may do it as a hinge. Yeah. It technically doesn't matter. No matter what I do, because I'm just gonna lock it in place anyways, and it doesn't need to be cargoed. Obviously. Alright, so what probably will end up need to happen is I will need a hinge, a piston. Yeah, so large grid hinge here. Detach. Small hinge. Okay, let me build this hinge. Alright, there we go. So, velocity... Oh, negative velocity. Come on. There we go. And then hinge lock, share nurse tensor. Zero, zero. Okay. Something that just gives me a big plate to work off of. Alright, just something flat I can build off of here, which is fine. Ooh, and it makes it easier for me to hop over here. Yay! So coming off of this, I think I need to tension this. Actually, do I? This shouldn't move. At all. Two, three, four, five. So that's the size of the wheel. Which means if I put the tensioner off the side of the... No, it's gotta come out. I think if I do it... Also, I'm just realizing what I did. I've essentially stopped this thing from working. Oh no. There we go. to just turn shear inertia tensor off. Yes, gotta love shear inertia tensor. Alright, now we can rotor lock it. And honestly, that probably gives us the perfect distance on our hinge as well. So we put a piston there. Move that. So then I have to build that. Let me build that. Alright, that's that. Oop. Don't bounce off. And then on this, I need to realize I forgot to grab all the bits after I put the stuff away. Ah! I'm fine. Okay, and then I think maybe I need to go one more.
Fuel critical.
No! Dang it. Okay, I wanted to go one more, but I guess not. Will this let me put a wheel there? I want to use a 5x5. Ooh, if I use a 5x5, I actually have to go back a couple of blocks. Well, that's great. Because the reason why I want to use a 5x5 here is due to the fact that I'm worried about things clipping through the ground. Or clipping through it. Also, just bigger surface area. Okay, I think I need to go down. Do it from underneath. That runs into it, so it's got to come over more. Something tells me it's still not going to place it. Oh! It placed it! Yes! Awesome. Okay, and now we can use this little piston right here to put it kind of in the middle. And right there's probably good. Yeah. Maybe a bit more over. Alright, perfect, I think. I need to build that suspension there. And then raise the suspension height a little bit. $20.8. Ow. Let me get an eye on it with this thing. Oh, it's not even touching at all. So I might throw it all the way to the top.
Fuel critical.
Yeah, shut up, suit. Height offset. Where's the height offset? All the way up. Yeah, that's probably actually higher than it needs to be. But it should mean I can cut away some of this support here. And then I'm going to put another wheel on top just so it kind of has 2 points of contact hitting each other. I think... Ow. Well, let's spin this up a little bit. Velocity. Yep, that's good, because this hinge is locked, this hinge is locked, this hinge is locked. All of these hinges are locked, so I need to unlock them. So I need to climb back up. There we go. Alright, so now I need to do probably that. The answer to that question is yes. Like this. But I need to drop this guy. Height. Height offset. Drop down. I think I need to hinge lock out of the way. Hinge lock. Hinge lock. Okay, that should be out of the way now. Cannot place. You're drunk. Go home. I have a feeling it's a attachment point issue, not a collision issue. Yeah, it was an attachment point issue. We're fine. Unable to place the wheel, yeah.
Fuel critical.
Okay, is that enough room to place the wheel? No. Alright, I need O2. 5 by 5. There we go. Gonna make these go height offset all the way up. Ow, poop. Get me out of here. Alright. And yes, this is a pretty cool trick that you can do to change the wheel height offset. You just grab another one and put them together, even though you don't actually have the controls for it. So now that this is done, I'm going to lower this back down to 50, or whatever. Lower this back down to 50. And then raise this one up. There we go. I think that should do it. Alright, and now I'm going to get back to making all this work. Alright, so while working on this, I realized I made a big mistake. This is supposed to be a conveyor block. Because this is how we're going to be conveying the mining section to the refining section. Now, I can fix this by putting one on the other side. And just doing it on the opposite side, and then just only having one side be piped. And that's probably the safer solution. I also don't like how far over that's moved. Let's maybe back this off a tiny bit. Nope, that didn't do it. Is it sliding off? It is. Yeah, see, that's the reason why I have the other thing on it. Feeling it's because of this. So in order to fix that, I think what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna put, okay, well, block there and block there. Move that one. And then I'm gonna continue pulling it forward. And hope it straightens out. So maybe also let off on that a little bit. Oh, I think we're going too far. Uh-oh, I think I fucked it. Nope. Nope, I think we're okay. I think we're good. Okay. But we're back centered, so I did fix it. By pulling it unevenly a different direction. Hell yeah. I'm gonna need to put in the side coasters again. That I have on the prototype build. Alright, that's fine. I don't think I can remove this without this entire chain just slipping. So sadly, I think it's gonna have to stay like that.
Your health
And we'll just have to remember for the other side that it needs to be hooked up properly. Also, did you say my health is low? Thanks, I know my health is low, because I fell one block, and you nearly killed me, game. Alright, well, with that mini crisis kind of resolved, I think I'm just going to end up doing what I've done on this side to the opposite side, just totally off camera. Because you don't really need to see that. If anything interesting does happen, I will cut back in. Alright, so I have finished the other side. I don't think they're exactly the same on the pulleys. I think I might have mixed it up a little bit. But it's close enough. Also, this hinge chain is like 5 blocks shorter. It's just how it went. So yeah. But I think we're at the point where I want to try and detach it from, well, not detach it, but remove the supports I'm currently walking on. See if it stays up, sort of thing, and doesn't come crashing down. Stop doing that. Alright. So at this point, yeah, I think we're ready to cut all this free. There we go. Nothing came crashing down. Oh, well, it's still technically hanging on this. Is it? A little, but not really. There we go. It's a hanging. I think I can tighten this a little bit. Just pull out some of the slack. Ah, I looked too far. Stop. Alright, that's probably good. Do I still need any of this up here to walk around? Probably. I know it should move back and forth, so I don't really need to test that. And I probably want to get a control seat set up for that anyways. Let me weld that up just in case we end up having a Splitsie moment and I cut the grid in half. Also, did I... Oh, God! Ow. I think I put that wheel in the wrong spot. Oh, well. Just gonna be like that now. Where's my rover? I'm gonna sit my rover while we end the episode so I can heal. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. I may do a bit of a live stream after this episode comes out to work on just this, get things a lot more welded up, because we've kind of done the majority of the hard mechanical stuff, and the rest of it's just welding busy work. Like, I gotta weld up all of these hinges. I've got to weld up piping and these batteries. Yeah. Oh, and like, yeah, all this, yeah, more piping that needs to be welded. So, that's not scary looking. I love how dumb this is. Let me grab a screenshot of that. Yeah, so I'll probably stream or just do it all off camera, and then in the next episode we're gonna work on the bit that goes in here, which contains the drill. And then this thing will hopefully finally be online getting us ice. And we can go back up the mountain and start working on some other stuff. Now that we'll have a constant source of fuel. And possibly iron. I don't know. I gotta actually scan the lake to see if there's any iron down here. Because if there's iron down here, oh man, that would be awesome. It'll also dictate how far I gotta make the drill be able to extend. Yeah. So I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.